Good afternoon, it's Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and we have 13 new cards to go over here today. We have a new Link 3 Fire Monster, plus of course we also have the new Aromage support and the new RaidRaptor support. I'm really excited to go over these cards with you all today. I know I'm a little late to the party, they were revealed this morning, but I started my new job today and I wasn't able to ultimately review these cards until now, so bear with me. I'm really tired, so if I misspeak on some of these cards, you're just gonna have to bear with me. Let's see what these cards are any good, and hopefully they make RaidRaptors and Morphages actually competitive decks. And my final thing I need to say is we are getting Gold Pride support this set. I know we are. If Konami dicks us over by getting the other two TCG archetype support and not us, that's some bullshit. But I know it's in this set. There's still like 7 or 8 more cards yet to be revealed. And hopefully we have the Gold Pride reveals tomorrow. I'm just crossing my fingers and praying because it's getting down to the wire. And we still have not had those 2 cards revealed. I'm starting now to get worried. But if Konami gives Goaty and Gate Guardian support, and Gate Guardian, Goaty, and Gold Pride came out in the same OCG set, why wouldn't Gold Pride also get support in the next wave when the other 2 archetypes did? It doesn't make sense to me if it doesn't, and I really want Konami to give us some new cards. So hopefully we do. If worst comes to worst, we still have the Goblin Riders, but still, I would like some new Gold Pride cards. I don't want to wait till May in the TCG to get some new Gold Pride support. So please, Konami, deliver. Give us 2 new cards in February so the deck is absolutely complete. But anyway, hope you all enjoy. Let's get straight into this because it's not about Gold Pride, it's not about Puck, it's not about Goblin Rider. We're talking about Aromages, random Link 3 Fire card, and of course RaidRaptors. Now we're going to start off with the Link 3 because I think that was the first to be revealed. And then we'll go off to Aromages, and then we'll go off to, of course, the RaidRaptors to finish this off. So let's get started. So this is a new Link 3. This is Prisoner Princess of the Fruitful Flames. It's a Link 3 Fire Fiend effect monster, 2700 attack. Arrows are pointing to left, right, and down. And this guy requires 2 effect monsters, so it's very generic. You only use the second and third effect of this card once a turn. His first effect is you can't spell summon monsters except fire monsters while he's on the field. This is a soft lock, so if you can link him off for another fire monster, or you just destroy him or get him off the field, you are no longer fire locked. So there you go. He also has the effect where during the main phase, you can spell summon 1 fire monster from your graveyard. So he is a reborn, so think of him like a transcoder, but for fire monsters. And then, if monsters is spell summoned to your opponent's field, while this card's in your graveyard, you can target 1 fire monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy them if you do spell summon this card. That graveyard effect right there sounds insane in Fire Kings. Imagine having this guy in grave, your opponent spell summons a monster, you activate this guy in grave, spell summon himself, pop your opponent's card, pop your Fire King, the Fire King floats to another Fire King, and then you're off to the races. So that actually seems pretty good. Overall, this card seems niche. I don't know what Link 4 Fire monster you're making. Maybe that new Fire archetype that comes out in a new Maze set is going to be really good with Links. But for now, this card doesn't really have a home besides Fire Kings. But they don't really have a Link 4 to climb into. So I don't know if that's a good home for it as well. Who knows? It seems cool. It's another generic Fire card that people keep printing out. So Konami really wants Fire to be a meta archetype or a meta typing, which is cool because it's the weakest typing in the game. So I'm glad Konami is giving all this year so much of support for it. And yeah, let's go on to the next card. We're going to go with the Aromages. So we went from Fire, and now we're going to grassy plant deck. So it looks like we have 5 new cards for this deck. I'm super excited to see where this goes from here. Morphages, if you don't know, or is not Morphages, it's Aromages. Aromages, if you don't know, are a very cool plant deck. The best one is Aromage Citizen Jasmine, which is a Link 2. And it's a really powerful card. So I'm really excited to see where this card goes from here. And the C support is good. So it looks like we have a new main deck monster. We have a Fusion, a Link, and a couple spells and traps. So I hope it's any good. Alright, so the first monster is pretty interesting. So it looks like it's a new main deck monster. It is a level 1 dark plant monster. This is Rosina or Anamorphic Rosina. A really, really cool level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense, dark plant tuner. You can only use the first and second effect of this card once a turn. Quick effect. You can discard this card, then target one Aromage monster you control, gain life points equal to half its attack. So it's a really cool quick play life point gainer, which is awesome. And then if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Aromage non-tuner from your deck. Also, you can special summon monsters the rest of the turn except plant monsters. So this card is a one-card synchro. So you can just normal summon this card, special summon whatever level non-tuner you want from the deck. And then this guy's a level 1 tuner, thus you can synchro into any plant monster you want, which is really, really good. And now we have a new fusion monster. This is Roma Lilith Mangolilia. I'm really horrible at these pronunciations. This is a level 8 dark plant fusion monster. Hey, Predaplants can probably make this card. It's a 2600, 1800 defense. One Aromage monster plus a plant monster, never mind. Unless they start playing Aromages, they're not going to be able to make this guy. Let's see what this card does. While your life points are higher than your opponent, plant monster you control can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. That's a pretty solid protection. So basically, if your life points are higher, your opponent can't kill your monsters by card effects, which is really, really strong. And then once a turn, you can pay 2,000 life points, banish cards on the field up to the number of human winds, dry winds, and blessed winds you control. I believe these are the continuous traps in the archetype. They're really, really powerful, I believe. Especially, I believe, human and dry winds are pretty good. Maybe even blessed's good. I forget what each one of them does. I think they have, like, life point gain and loss effects, and they give you advantage. But overall, I do like this banishing effect. I wish it was a quick play effect, but what can you do? Third effect is, once per turn, if you gain life points, even during the damage step, you could make all plant monsters currently controlled gain attack equal to the attack until the end of the turn. So I guess what that means is that it gains attack equal to the life points you gained, which is pretty insane. So let's say you activated Dogwood, which is a card you do play in Aromage. You can activate Dogwood, your opponent special summons a 3,000 monster. Then this guy will trigger, gaining 3,000 life points. And then all your monsters will gain 3,000 attack, which is pretty interesting. That's a little bit of a setup to do that, but it is something you can do. Next card, we have Rosemary. Aromage Lilith Rosemary. It's a Dark Link 3 plant effect monster, 2200 attack. Bottom arrows like Appaloosa, so it has 3 bottom arrows pointing down. Materials are 2 plant monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card once per turn. The third effect of this card's name each once per turn. So it's all a bunch of once per turns. If this card is special summon, you can add one Aromage card from your deck to hand. That's a pretty insane effect. It just says one on special summon. So if this card has the ability to come back from graveyard, it does have the ability to trigger again. It just has to be reborn. So anytime this card is special summon period, this card will give you a search, which is really, really good. And second effect is if you gain life points, even during the damage step, you can special summon up to 3 Aromage monsters from your hand to zone this card points to. So that's a pretty powerful effect. Summoning 3 Aromages, even during the battle phase, to a zone this card points to. The only issue I can see is that what's the reason of summoning Morphages on your opponent's turn? Maybe the idea is that there are interruptions. So let's say you have like a level 5 or 6 in hand. In the main deck, you can special summon them from hand, and then maybe they have like popping effects or like interruption effects, which would be really, really cool. But I don't know how practical that is. We'll just have to see. And then its third effect is you contribute 1 monster this card points to, then target 1 card on the field, banish it if you do gain 1,000 life points. So that's a pretty powerful effect. It does require you to tribute a plant monster, which sucks. But I think there's ways to get around that. I think some of the plant cards allow you to tribute your opponent's monsters, or they pay the cost for tributes. So that seems pretty interesting. Overall, it's a really good card, and I like it. Next card we have is Aromage Bleed, or Blend. My bad, it's Blend. Normal spell card. You can only activate the first and second effect of this card once per turn. You discard 1 card, place 1 human winds, dry winds, or blessed winds from your hand or deck face up into your spell and trap zone. And then the second effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon one plant fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the materials mentioned on it, and then if your life points are higher, you can use cards from your graveyard. So I do like this card. I do like that it places one of the blessed spells. My only issue that it discards, which really sucks. And also, you can only use graveyard as material if your life points are higher, which I guess isn't hard, but in a scenario where your life points aren't higher, using monsters in hand or on field kind of blows. So overall, I think the card's interesting. I think it's going to be definitely a 3 of in a deck, but I just don't know how great it's not as great as it sounds, because no matter what, it is a discard, which sucks, but who knows. It does place though, so you can't ash this card. I will say this, because it places dry winds, humid winds, or blessed winds, your opponent can't ash this card, so you don't have to worry about discarding a card and getting ashed. So that's pretty nice. And finally, we have Aroma Healing. So I guess this is a new, a normal trap card. One thing I want to say immediately is that this card cannot be placed by the other cards. So you have to play an archetype that searches this, hopefully. Let's see what this card does. So you can only use the first and second of this card once a turn. Gain life points. Gain 1,000 life points for each Aromage monster with different names you control. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Aromage monster in your graveyard, spell summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field, then gain 500 life points. So it's a cool reborn. It's basically back to the front for the archetype. I don't know how necessary that is. The archetype, I feel like it's already pushing for playables, so this could be really good as a cool one-of, but is it searchable? I don't know. Ultimately, I think the support's average. I like it. I just feel like Aromages still need a Wink Edition. Like, you gave them a lot more consistency cards, a lot more modern day cards. I guess the Wink Edition would be the Fusion Monster, but Fusion Monster is not really an interruption. It's just a big beat stick, really. So, I don't know. I feel like Aromages are missing the interruptions on your opponent's turn, unlike Rika and Sun Avalon have. So, I don't know if Aromage as a pure archetype will be enough to fight the meta, but maybe a mix of Rika and Sun Avalon could push it over the edge. But that's all I have for that. Let's go on to the final support, which is RaidRaptors. Alright, so let's talk about the RaidRaptors support. So RaidRaptors, I got to shout out to my boy RaidRaptor Richie. He's been playing his deck forever now, so I'm super happy he's finally getting 7 new cards for his archetype. I do wish we went over the punk cards. I know we're getting punk cards, not punk cards, my apologies. Gold Pride cards. I know we're getting Gold Pride cards this set. Every other TCG exclusive that came out in the last set is getting support. So 2 new cards are going to be Gold Pride. I just wish they were revealed already. So Konami is still, ringing its bell over my face, because I'm really hoping for this support, and we haven't got it yet. So let's read these new RaidRaptors. Let's see if there are any insane ones, and let's go from here. So first things first, we have a new main deck monsters. We have 2 main deck monsters. We have the first one, which is a level 4 Dark Wing Beast, 1600 attack, 500 defense. This is Noir's Lanius, RaidRaptor Noir Lanius. You can only use each effect of this card once a turn. During the main phase, if this card is no more special summon, you can target 1 RaidRaptor monster control, add 1 RaidRaptor monster with a different name or with a different level from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, increase or decrease the level of all RaidRaptor monsters you currently control until the end of the turn. So that's a pretty interesting effect. Basically, this card says normal, then special summon a different level monster from the deck, which is really good because it can target itself. But overall, I think it's a really good card. It gets one from deck, which I think one of them is a level 1, so that actually really helps. But it's just a really good normal summon, I guess. Next we have RaidRaptor's Bloom Vulture. RaidRaptor Bloom Vulture is a level 4 Dark Wing Beast, 300 attack, 1900 defense. You can only use the first effect among the first and second effects once per turn, and once that turn. So basically, you get to choose between the first effect or the second effect. You can't do both in the same turn, which kind of sucks. Let's see what these cards do. So you can't spell summon monsters except dark monsters. If you only control a Wing Beast monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand and 1 RaidRaptor monster from your hand. So basically, it summons itself, it summons another one from hand, which is really cool. It does require you to already control Wing Beasts on field, but that doesn't seem like a bad effect. It gives you 3 level 3 herbs. Oh, not level 3 herbs. What the fuck am I saying? 3 level 3, level 4 dark monsters. That's pretty good. Next we have, if you control no monsters, you can target 2 level 4 lower RaidRaptor monsters in your graveyard, including this card, special summon them in defense position. So this card is always a rank 2. What am I saying? I can't even say words today. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. This card is always a rank 4, basically. So the idea is that if this card's in your graveyard, you can spell summon it from the grave, and it's reborn another one from the grave, so you get access to a rank 4 that way. I mean, if this card's in your hand and you control Wing Beast, you can spell summon it, and then spell summon another one from hand. So that's pretty good. Overall, I like it. It's really cool, but I don't know how great it is. So this is another really good extender, which the deck has plenty of. Now we have a new boss monster. This is RaidRaptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. This guy is gigantic. He's a rank 13 Dark Wing Beast. 4,000 attack, 3,500 defense. Materials are 5 level 13 Wing Beast monsters. Well, obviously we're ranking up to this guy because there's no level 13 monster in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If this card is XYZ summoned, you destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. And then if this card has 3 or more RaidRaptor XYZ monsters with different names as material, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's total attack and original attack. So this guy on summon zarks the field. Oh, he zarks your opponent's field. And then if you have 3 RaidRaptors of material, you burn them forever much attack they all had. That's pretty powerful. That's a pretty good OTK card. And then its second effect is this card is unaffected by other card effects. So it's the towers, like all the other RaidRaptor boss monsters. That's pretty insane. So now you have Ultimate Falcon, this guy, and the other Ultimate Falcon, the level 12 one, which is pretty insane. So overall, this card already seems insane. And then once per turn, you can detach 3 materials from this card, then target 1 RaidRaptor XYZ in your graveyard, replace this effect with that monster's original effect until the end phase. Now that is a pretty solid effect. I think one of the RaidRaptors can burn, so after you already burnt them with this guy's effect, you can detach, copy the effect of the other one, and burn your opponent again, which is really powerful. Or you copy like the level of the rank 4 that searches, which is also really good. There's some really good search targets with this card, so I like it. Next card, we have Brave Strix. Brave Strix is a rank 5 Dark Wing Beast at XYZ. 2,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Materials are 2 level 5 monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card once per turn. Detach 1 material from this card. Send 1 RaidRaptor spell trap directly from the deck. If a card has a Wing Beast monster as material, detach 1 material from this card. Add 1 rank up magic spell from your deck to hand. You can only use 1 of each of these effects. So you can only have to choose either the first or second. You can't do both at the same turn, which really sucks. And then the third effect is if a RaidRaptor XYZ monster that has this card as material gains this effect, gain an attack equal to its rank times 100. So that seems pretty cool. So it basically gives an attack boost, which is great. Next, we have a rank up spell. This is Rise Rank Up Magic RaidRaptor Force. That's a crazy name for a quick play rank up spell. You can only activate this card once per turn. During either player's main phase or your opponent's battle phase. So during your player's main phase or opponent's battle phase, you can target 2 or more RaidRaptor XYZs, monsters that you control and in your graveyard, including 1 on the field. Special summon this card from the extra deck. RaidRaptor XYZ monster whose total rank equals to those ranks total. And then attach those monsters as material. This is treated as an XYZ summon and transfer their materials to the summon monsters. So this guy basically helps you rank up into the new rank 13, which is how it has 3 XYZs material, thus is allowing you to get its copy effect, which is really good. So overall, this rank up is insane, probably a really powerful one-off in order to summon out the level 13 boy. We also have a new continuous spell. This is Roost, RaidRaptor Roost. The first and second effect of this card once per turn. If RaidRaptor monsters is spell summoned from the extra deck while this card's on field, add 1 RaidRaptor spell or trap directly from the deck to hand, except RaidRaptor's Roost. Then you can target up to 3 RaidRaptor monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, place on the bottom deck, and then draw 1 card. Both these effects are absolutely insane. One's a draw one, the other one adds a RaidRaptor to spell a trap and sets it, which is no, it adds from deck, which is really good. So overall, this card's already insane. And then finally, we have one card left. It's a trap card. It is RaidRaptor Glorious Bright or RaidRaptor Barrage. Normal trap card. You only use the first and second effect of this card once per turn, and only once per turn that turn. So you have to choose between the first and second effect of this card again. Basically, if you control a RaidRaptor's monster, target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Unless your opponent controls a RaidRaptor XYZ monster, and then you can activate this card, only targets monsters. So basically, this card's an Omni Negate if you control a RaidRaptor XYZ. If you don't control a RaidRaptor XYZ, this card is only a monster negate. So that's pretty cool. And then second effect is, if this card is banished, you banish this card from your graveyard. Turn one RaidRaptor monster that is banished or in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So it has a recycling effect too. So this card is absolutely crazy. All these cards seem cool. I think this is definitely going to put RaidRaptors back on the map, especially with Phantom Knights or just Blackwings in general. I feel like Dark Wing Beasts have huge potential, and I feel like RaidRaptor Richie, the guy in my locals, will find a way to break this deck, and I can't wait to make a deck profile on it. But until then, I hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid. See you all next one, and bye-bye.